I'm Latrina Patrick, founder of Vision University. I have been a grant professional for nearly 2 decades, and I've spent about half of that time as a grant reviewer. I can honestly say that the time I've served as a federal grant reviewer has taught me more about the art of grant writing than all of my years of actual hands-on writing experience. One of the things I've learned is that if you can grab the reviewer's attention in that problem statement and get their emotional buy-in from the onset, you significantly increase your chances of getting funded. That's simply because the problem statement is the first thing that they actually read. So it sets the foundation and the expectation for the entire proposal. I've read my share of bad problem statements, but I've also read some really good ones. And I want to teach you how to write a really good one. In this tutorial series, I'm going to teach you how to write a kick-butt problem statement that will make the reviewer cry. Over the course of this series of tutorials to teach you how to write a kick-butt problem statement, you will learn the components of a compelling problem statement. You will learn how to construct a narrative that appeals to the emotions of reviewers. You will learn to navigate the Census Bureau website to gather data. You will learn to use descriptive language that paints a clear picture of the community, and you will learn how to effectively highlight the issues you plan to address. In this particular video, I will define the problem statement, describe the mandatory components, and demonstrate what should be included in a community profile. Basically, here's what the problem statement does. It clearly defines the problem. It sets the foundation for what the proposal will be about and what your program will address. Please be mindful that from a scoring perspective, it's practically impossible to recover from a bad problem statement. If you don't get the reviewer's buy-in at this point and get a good score on this section, the rest of the proposal will be an uphill battle. The typical components of the problem statement are demographics, which includes the community profile and target population, research and data, history of the problem, and a supportive narrative that aligns with the data. The community profile is basically a summary of baseline conditions and trends in a community. It identifies community issues and attitudes. It locates notable features in the community. It assesses social and economic conditions and trends in the community that have bearing on the project, and it establishes the context for assessing potential impacts and for project decision making. Remember, this is just what a community profile consists of and how it actually functions within a problem statement. In this scenario, I'm not really referring to this community profile as an actual document or separate report. Here are some specifics of what the community profile entails. It describes the economic, income, and education levels, as well as the population and ethnic breakdown of the residents. All of this information can be found on the Census Bureau website, which we will take a closer look at in an upcoming tutorial within this series. Here's an actual excerpt from a problem statement from a recent grant I submitted. It provides a clear description of the Jacksonville community. For the more than 19 million veterans living in the United States, where they choose to live is essential to their access to health care, stable employment, and quality of life. Fortunately, many of those veterans choose to make Florida their home, especially in Jacksonville. With a veteran population of nearly 80,000, Jacksonville has the largest veteran population than any other city in the state. In fact, Jacksonville is ranked 10th among the 25 best U.S. cities for veterans to live. Home to 2 major Navy bases, Naval Air Station Jacksonville and Mayport, Jacksonville is the largest city in the state of Florida, and covering 747 square miles, it's the largest city by land size in the contiguous United States. In this example, the descriptive narrative I used to describe the community was very relevant to the type of grant we were writing. If this were for something other than a program for homeless veterans, I wouldn't have used this much information about veterans and the military bases. I would have customized it to the instructions from the funding announcement. The target population is simply who you intend to serve. Are you serving a specific population within the community? Stray animals, homeless people, other organizations? You should provide just enough detail to help the reviewer understand who will benefit from your project. Is it a low-income community, unemployed adults, youth who've dropped out of high school, homeless people? The key here is to make this section as specific and accurate as possible. So here's an example. You could say, we intend to serve adults on the west side of Atlanta. But a better way to say that would be, we intend to serve low-income Hispanic women in Northeast Atlanta between the ages of 18 to 25 who are victims of sexual abuse. Within this description of your target population, the reviewer wants to see you clearly outline the characteristics of your target population. That includes age range, gender, ethnicity, education level, income level. They want to see that you are serving a constituency that falls within the funding parameters. They want to see the number of people that you intend to serve. And where appropriate, you should indicate any changes within the target population that may relate to why you're asking for grant funds. For example, there may have been an influx of immigrants into the community who need specialized services. Be sure to indicate the source of the demographic information that you cite. And finally, use words describing your population that tell your story with accuracy and emotion. Don't worry, we will take a closer look at how to draft a powerful narrative in an upcoming tutorial within this series. As you're drafting a narrative to support the problem you're addressing, make sure that you focus on the gaps in the existing programs and services within your organization, that you research and write about the community's gaps and needs to amplify what's missing in the targeted area. Don't focus on the organization's needs. It should be about the needs of the people you're serving. And be prepared to tell and support with recent statistics just how dire the situation is for your target population. Now here's what we've covered in this tutorial. We've defined the problem statement. We discussed the components of a problem statement. We defined and described the community profile. We defined and described the target population. Coming up in the next tutorial, we will discuss research, in particular, where to find it, how to present it, and how to use it to make an emotional appeal. If you found this video helpful, please press like and leave a comment. I would love to know how you plan to write your problem statements differently in the future. In the meantime, if you would like access to a free grant writing training about how to write competitive federal grant applications, go over to my website. All you have to do is subscribe to my weekly updates and I'll give you that as a gift. But that's only for a limited time, so as soon as this video ends, head over to the website and subscribe to those updates. And finally, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Vision University, and also click on the notifications button so that you'll be notified as soon as we upload new content. Well, that's all for now. I will see you next time, but until then, be visionary.